What's up, kings and queens? It's your boy Dan from Daft Previews. Now, just got home from a wedding. I may be slightly intoxicated, but I had to get this video out to you. I know there's a lot of you over there in the US who wake up in the morning and start looking for my videos first thing, so I'm doing this for you. And today's video, I've got 7 bets that I've just researched that I've sent out to VIP that I'm going to share with you guys today. Now, if that sounds interesting, let's go. Before we get into the bets, we have to recap the day that was. In that last video, I think I shared 10 bets with you guys. I think I went 7 and 3 or 6 and 4. Either way, had some pretty good reads. Looking at VIP, 0.6 units profit on the day. And the reason for it is we made a killing on our straight bets, but all the value plays that I ran, honestly, got hooked on about 3 or 4 of them. It could have been the biggest day that I've had since I started running VIP. Some great reads, didn't work out, but didn't lose any money, so I'll take that. But here's how I went with all the bets. 7 and 4 on our straight bets, 2.18 units profit. Keegan Murray, 6.5 rebounds. We got hooked on that. He finished on 6. He was awful offensively, and that limited his minutes in that game. He had 6 boards in 29 minutes. Not a bad bet at all. Tyrese Halliburton, I took his over 19.5 points. We got hooked on that. He finished on 19. Barely saw time in the fourth quarter. The issue that I have here is that lines were available at 18.5, but me being a greedy bastard, managed to take the higher line at better odds, and it absolutely killed me. We also had Jalen Williams, over 22.5 points. He scored 19 points from 19 shots. He shot poorly. The matchup was great. I'd happily take that bet again. And then if you're talking about matchups and shot attempts, Donovan Mitchell took his over in points and assists. He was 5 from 23 from the field. He did have 6 assists as well. I think the matchup was great. He had the volume I expected. I think I read that game really well, that player very well. I thought that was another good bet in my opinion. Just didn't work out for us. But he had a lot of winners today. Clint Capella, under 9.5 points. That was a plus money play. That got a bit sweaty in the third quarter, but ultimately cashed. Ja Morant over his points and assists. That was easy money. Hartenstein over his 10.5 rebounds. That was easy. Mobley over 9.5 rebounds. That was easy. Zubac over his points and rebounds. That got a bit sweaty, but it cashed in the end. Julius Randle, under 32.5 PRA. That actually cashed pretty easy. He only scored 11 points in that game. And Salon, took him for over 1.5 3-pointers made. He hit 2 in the first quarter. How easy was that? Plus, we hit a Scotty Barnes value play at plus 575. I'll show you that in a second. Now, Black Friday, I'm going to run this discount throughout this weekend. So on my season pass only, if you use the code Black Friday when you sign up, you'll get 60% off. There are limited spots available, and I said it last time, but this plan is only for those who are like me. If you bet every single day and you like to bet with volume, then that's the type of plan for you. So go ahead and check it out. The link for that is in the video description below. Here's what I sent to VIP, a 4% return, 0.6 units profit. And this is a Scotty Barnes value play. Took him for 10 rebounds to get a double-double and to go over his assist prop. Easy money by the end of it. My man finished with a triple-double. Excellent odds on that. I wish I played it, but can't live our lives thinking about what could have been, right? Anyway, enough about that. If you don't have the cash or you're looking to try that VIP, best thing to do, check out the links in the video description below. It's all of my partners. If you sign up to any of my partners, send me an email, make your first deposit of $10, and I'll get you a month of VIP picks for free. A lot of you guys have been taking up that offer. My email's been flooded, if I'm being honest with you guys, and I want to encourage you, keep doing it. Sign up to the apps, send me an email, and I'll get you a month of VIP. Now let's get into these bets, shall we? Let's go. Now we're jumping into props madness again. You already know this is the best player prop tool for the NBA, hands down. The more data it gets, the better it gets. You already know. Go ahead and check out Props Madness. 7-day free trial in the video description below, and you'll also get a 25% discount if you use the code DAFT. I've also created a beginner's guide, a tutorial on how to use Props Madness, so you can find that on the channel as well. But let's talk about these bets, shall we? The first game is the Atlanta Hawks versus the Hornets, and normally I'd be really excited about it, but in this particular game, we've got so many game time decisions here. It's too difficult to make a bet right now. If you do make a bet on it, probably wait till the lineups are confirmed before you do it. So I personally have nothing on this game just yet, but I can almost guarantee you closer to start time, I'll most likely have something. So for those of you in VIP, don't worry, I got you. Now we're looking at the 76ers versus the Pistons, and I've got a couple of bets in this game, and it's a couple of unders. This Detroit team been excellent defensively this season, only getting better as they get healthier. So I'm looking to take a couple unders today. Tyrese Maxey lines at 24.5. I will not be taking under Tyrese Maxey. He's the only player I'd say for the Philadelphia 76ers who has a great matchup to score some points. So I'd probably lean to his over. That's one thing I want to call out. I still might bet it, but I'll decide in the morning. But looking at the unders here, taking Jared McCain, taking his under rebounds and assists. The line's at 8.5. He's hit the over in 1 out of 17 games this season. He's averaging 5.1 rebounds and assists. The only game where he managed to go over this, no Maxey, no Embiid, no Paul George. Now, Embiid's still out, but we do have Tyrese Maxey. We do have Paul George making his return in this game. So safe to say, Jared McCain most likely to go under here. So on hit rates alone, I absolutely love it. But then if you think about the matchup, this Detroit Pistons team, third fewest assists allowed in the league, second fewest rebounds in the league. They've got a top 4 defensive rating. It's crazy. Whoever's transformed this Detroit team, hats off to you, my friend. So Jared McCain under his rebounds and assists. The next one, I'm taking Paul George under 17.5 points. Now, he's only gone over this line in 3 out of 8 games. He's averaging 14.9 points per game this season. Now, he's just back from hyperextending his knee again. He's missed almost 2 weeks of action. And in his first game back, he gets a tough matchup here. He scores a lot of points in isolation. This Detroit Pistons team, top 4 in the league at defending in isolation. They're not the best in the pick and roll situations, but Paul George only scoring 3 points per game in the pick and roll. So he's going to get some buckets, but I don't think he's going to score 18 points here. So the matchup's difficult. He's coming back off another knee injury. I think Tyrese Maxey is going to carry the offense today. Jared McCain probably chip in a little bit as well, but I don't think Paul George, I don't think he sees enough action here to score 18 points. So I am taking his under podcast P. Sorry, my boy. Outside of that, nothing more in this game. I am considering a Tyrese Maxey over in his points prop. I'll leave that with you. I need to investigate that a little bit further. Now we're jumping into the Washington Wizards versus Milwaukee Bucks game now. And I've got 2 different picks in this game, but I've also got one pick I want to talk about because it's popular as hell. And if anyone's thinking about betting on it, let me give you a reason why you probably shouldn't. It's Jordan Poole over his points prop. Now, I probably leaned to the over here, and I was close to betting on it, not gonna lie, until I dived a little bit deeper. Then I found some information that gave me a little less confidence. So people are betting on Jordan Poole to go over his points prop today because the Bucks have not been great at defending guards this season. They haven't been great at defending the pick and roll, and they haven't been great at defending above the break, right? But what I can tell you is they have been getting better lately, right? Recently, the Bucks have been a little bit better defensively. But also, thinking about Jordan Poole, a lot of people are betting it because of this. Without Kyle Kuzma in the lineup, Jordan Poole's hit this in 4 out of 5 games, right? No Kyle Kuzma, he's out injured. The problem is we now have Malcolm Brogdon who's made his return, and Jordan Poole's yet to play a game without Kuzma, with Brogdon in the lineup. And what we can see here is he's played 4 games with Malcolm Brogdon in the lineup. He's gone over this line twice. In the 2 games he didn't go over this line, he barely shot the ball. 7 shot attempts in those games. He became the primary ball handler, whereas Malcolm Brogdon was the one who was getting buckets. Now, Jordan Poole does have a better matchup to score points here, but the fact that he can default into that role, it does worry me a little bit. And if the volume's not going to be there, I can't take him against the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks defense is getting a little bit better. And Poole, no guarantee he's going to shoot the ball a lot today with Malcolm Brogdon, who's made his return. He's gone over this line in the 2 games. The game against the Knicks, ideal matchup for Jordan Poole. I know that because I bet on it. Ideal matchup. He only took 7 shots in that game. And I was like, what the hell's up with my boy here? But Brogdon carries the scoring. Jordan Poole, more likely to get some assists. So that's the reason why I'm not taking it. I lean to the over. I wanted to bet it, not gonna lie. I saw what everybody else saw who did the research for this bet, but I ultimately chose not to take it. But I did take some other bets. The first one, Dame Lillard, taking his over in assists today. 6.5 assists is what we're looking at here. He's averaging 7.7 assists in his last 15 games, covering this line in 9 of those. Now, it's up against the Wizards today. The Wizards, bottom 8 in the league in terms of assists allowed. They've got the 2nd worst defensive rating. They allow a lot of points in the paint. The other thing I love about this Dame play and the other play is the fact that Giannis, he's got a couple of injured knees at the moment, and he's most likely going to play this game. But given the matchup, the spread's pretty large too, 15.5 points. I don't see them riding Giannis into the ground for this one. Given both of his knees are a little bit busted at the moment, I think Dame carries the offense in some way. If his usage rate is high, he's going to get assists anyway. So I do like to look at this. If we have a look at Dame's games against the bottom 15 teams who allow a ton of assists, we can see he's hit this line in 6 out of the 9 games, averaging 7.7 assists per game. So if you specifically look at the games against the teams that play at a fast pace as well. So check this out. This Washington Wizards team, they play at a frenetic pace, top 4 in the league. So if we look at the teams that allow a lot of assists, but also play at a crazy pace, check this out. The teams in the top 10 pace who allow a lot of assists, Dame covered in every single one of them. The Bulls, the Cavs, and hopefully the Wizards. But Dame's averaging 8.5 assists when he sees this type of matchup. I do like the over here at 6.5. The next play I'm taking is on Bobby Portis, taking his over 12.5 points. Now, if you looked at his data, you probably wouldn't bet on it. But thanks to Props Madness, they make it a whole lot easier for us. Firstly, Bobby Portis is averaging 13 points per game this season, and he's only hit this in 8 out of 17 games. He's got an excellent matchup against Washington. He scores in the post. Washington allow the second most points in the post in the season. He scores in the restricted area. Washington are bottom 5 at limiting points around the basket. He also scores in putbacks, transition as a pick and roll man. All of those things Washington are not good at. We also know that Giannis probably not going to be running to the ground for this one, which means more time for Bobby Portis. Now, if we look to see how Bobby Portis has fared in similar types of matchups, you could say, bottom 15 teams at defending the post game and who also allow the most points in the paint. So looking at the bottom 15 teams in both categories for Bobby Portis, and we can see in these games, he's over this line in 6 out of 8 games, averaging 14.9. I think the matchup is just ideal for him. And if he sees the extra opportunities with Giannis hopefully taking a bit more breaks throughout the game, Bobby Portis should be able to eat here. Hopefully we get Dame assists into Bobby Portis points and they work wonderfully together. So they're the 2 bets that I have on this particular game. I've got nothing on the Wizard side of the ball. As much as I looked, nothing I absolutely loved. If I was going to bet on Giannis, I'd probably look at his under and his PRA, but that man's an absolute beast. I still wouldn't want to do that. But Dame Lillard over his assists and Bobby Portis over his points prop. I do like those. Pumping the brakes real quick. Firstly, because I'm struggling, I need to take a break. I'm sweating bullets here, but I need to stay fly for you all. But also, I just wanted to say thank you. The channel's growing fast, over 15,000 subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed already, I encourage you to do so. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Drop me a comment. You can say anything you want to. It's going to help this algorithm push this video out to more people. And that's what I need your help with. So go ahead and help your boy out. Do all that stuff for me and then jump back on and watch the rest of the video. Let's go. All right, we're looking at the next game. It's the Golden State Warriors versus the Phoenix Suns. In this game, we've got a few game time decisions here. I think Kevin Durant, no, not Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Nurkic, Wiggins, and Curry. Wiggins and Curry, probably the bigger concerns, but there's a lot for Golden State, so I'm not taking any bets on the Warriors at the moment. And for the Phoenix, a lot of people are going to be betting the under in Devin Booker. That doesn't seem like fun. It does have a good hit rate, but I'm not doing that. A lot of people betting the over on Kevin Durant. They're on this whole narrative revenge thing against the Warriors. And he's good enough to definitely do so, but his matchup is awful. I would absolutely shoot myself if Kevin Durant doesn't cover his points prop. And I knew that the matchup was awful. Kevin Durant scoring in transition, scoring in above the break threes. The Golden State Warriors top 3 at defending both of those. If he doesn't cover his points prop and I was to take that bet, I would be absolutely disgusted with myself knowing that the matchup was difficult for him. So that's my only reason for not taking it. I'd lean to the over because the man is great, but it's not a bet that I'm going to be taking. A bet that I will be taking, though, is on this guy, the Turkish delight, Yusuf Nurkic, and I'm looking at his over 9.5 rebounds. I got that on Bet365. Now, he's hit this at only 8 out of 16 games this season. It's a 50% hit rate, so you're probably thinking, what's the deal, mate? Why are you betting on that? The main reason here, Warriors, not a great rebounding team. They allow the 3rd most rebounds in the league, and quite simply put, if you take a look at Yusuf Nurkic when he has an easy matchup, if you look at the bottom 15 teams in the league at rebounding, Yusuf Nurkic is over in 5 out of those 6 games. He's averaging 13.3 rebounds a game when he's up against a team that allow a lot of boards. So I do like Yusuf Nurkic in this matchup against an undersized Golden State Warriors team. I think Yusuf Nurkic goes to work. The only risk that I see in this play is if the Warriors happen to go small ball and they find a way to run Nurkic off the court, then I'd probably be a little bit concerned. But this Warriors team, they play with quite a lot of pace. Just checking to see if the other teams he's played play with pace as well. And yeah, they have. The OKC Thunder, the Dallas Mavericks are a top 10 pace team as well. He managed to get some boards there. So hopefully the Warriors don't play too fast and Nurkic sees some game time. And if he does, he's definitely going to cover this rebound line. So I do like his over. That's my only bet in this particular game. And then we've got the Dallas Mavericks versus the Utah Jazz. Now, in this one, Luka Doncic is a game time decision, but reading the reports, he's extremely unlikely to play. Klay Thompson is still out for this game. For Utah, John Collins, apparently he's going to play, but he's a game time decision. I don't know what the hell that means, but I'm not betting on him anyway. Laurie Markkinen, he's not listed on any injury report that I can see, but there are odds available for him. So that Utah Jazz team, I'm staying away from right now until things come a little bit clearer. But I've got two different bets on the Dallas Mavericks, and both of them involve no Luka Doncic. So I pray that Luka Doncic does not play, because if he does, both of these bets are absolutely cooked. If you want to be a responsible adult, you can wait. Wait till Luka's status is definitely out before you take these bets. The concern here is that the odds are probably going to move. So I'm going to take a risk here and take the bet, assuming he's not going to play based on the reports that I've read. The first thing I'm looking at here is PJ Washington taking his rebounds and assists. It's been an absolute wagon. Check it out. These are the 5 games that he's played without Luka Doncic, averaging 15.4 rebounds and assists. I caught this at 9.5. Even at 10.5, I would take, but you better get that for plus money. Purely because of this. He's been smashing it out of the park. He's been good enough to cover this in his rebounds alone. Then you add the fact that he's been passing the ball quite well. The assists are definitely there. The matchup is great for getting some dimes. Loving PJ Washington here. It's as simple as that. And then my next play is on Najee Marshall to score 16.5 points. Very similar. Look at the games without Luka in the starting lineup now. He's covered this line in 4 out of 5 games, averaging 21 points per game. Line at 16.5. Up against this Jazz team, not great defensively. Najee Marshall gets out in transition. Spot up shooting wise, he's been scoring quite well. This Utah Jazz team, they do allow the 3rd most 3-point attempts allowed, so they'll let people get those shots up. Najee Marshall, as a late, has actually been shooting the ball really well. Prior to this game against Denver, he had missed like 13 3-pointers in a row or something crazy on the season. He broke the streak, and then he's been hitting 3-pointers ever since, shooting them at an excellent clip. I think he nails a couple 3-pointers here on Utah. I think he scores in transition, and in the half court, I think he does some work as well. Kyrie Irving doesn't have the best matchup to score some points here, so I think he's going to lean on Najee Marshall, your PJ Washingtons, Jaden Hardy. I think those guys are going to pick up the scoring load. Dallas should have a very balanced scoring offense in this game, and I like Najee Marshall playing a ton of minutes, seeing a lot of opportunity here. He should play at least 30 minutes. He should get about 12 to 15 shots up, and he's going to shoot him at a high percentage too. So I do like his over in points. So that's the 2 bets that I do have so far in this game. So that's 7 bets. We've only got a 5-game slate, but still managed to find 7 bets. And you know what? I'm not done. I'll probably find a couple more. I could potentially get up to 10 bets down on the 5-game slate. I'm a volume bettor. I'm not one of those guys who's only looking for the best 3 plays on the day. Like, if one of those loses, what are you going to really do with that? So I'm all about volume. I probably only hit them at 50 to 60% at best, which means the more bets I get down and I hit at that percentage, the more profit I'm going to make. Now, it's all about having fun. I find that the more bets I have down, the more fun I tend to have, because there's more players I get to check out. The risk is there's more chances of being wrong, but at the same time, that's what this game's all about, right? It's why we pay for tools. It's why you watch videos like this. I'm happy to be wrong on some of these. I've done the analysis. I always do. If I do lose, I'll reflect on these and I'll determine whether it was a good bet or not. The ultimate goal here is to make sure every bet that we put down is a good bet. Now, if, let's say, that Dallas game, if Luka Doncic does play, then that PJ Washington, that Najee Marshall bet, they're bad bets, because I took the bets knowing that there's a small chance that Luka Doncic could play. But I'm willing to bet that he's not going to, which is why I do like those 2 spots. But I appreciate you guys for checking in, tapping in, watching the video. Hopefully you've liked, comment, subscribed already. If you haven't, go ahead and do that for me. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I hope your slips may be green today. Let's go.